Hi, this is Sally's Book Talk, bringing you the best books from around the world every day. Today's book is The Disappearance of Childhood. We live in the mobile internet era, bombarded with endless information every day. Internet trends and buzzwords pop off one after another. If you go offline for a few days, you'll be clueless about what everyone's talking about, fangirling over influencers, new slang.
This creates information anxiety or nostalgic melancholy, people drowning in fragmented entertainment, lacking patience.
How do we understand and face this era? Today's book, The Disappearance of Childhood, uses the concept of childhood's origin and decline to analyze 20th century American TV culture, media studies classic. Author Neil Postman was a renowned media scholar, also wrote Amusing Ourselves to Death. You'll realize Postman systematically addressed these exact dilemmas over 30 years ago. Let's explore the book through three key perspectives. First, what exactly is the disappearance of childhood? What role did television play? Second, was television the sole culprit? Third, what does Postman's analysis reveal about media technology's profound impacts? First, let's unpack childhood's disappearance. It's the erasure of boundaries between children and adults. Postman argues television was the main catalyst, manifesting two ways: kids acting adult-like, adults regressing childlike. First, children becoming adult-like. In Postman's era, 12-year-olds in commercials dressed as seductive adults, a jarring shift.
Where skipping school to smoke was once scandalous, juvenile crime rates began rivaling adults.
Postman cites data. 1950-1979 saw 11,000% increase in serious crimes by under 1.5s in America.
Beyond extremes, traditional childhood gains vanished completely.
12-year-olds now play competitive football with adult-level intensity, phenomenon we all recognize. Today's kids mature way too fast. They learn adult secrets, like sex, violence, death, and society's dark side at shockingly young ages. Postman argues adulthood boundaries depend on these secrets, with adults gradually revealing them through education. Why does television dissolve these adult secrets? In text-dominated eras, literate adults monopolized knowledge acquiring, not just reading skills, but logical reasoning. Reading demanded patience, trait adults possess, but children lack. Television removed all barriers, flashing images required no context or deep thinking, just a screen in your living room. Postman calls TV a gateway technology, like today's soft gates and tablets, making parental controls nearly impossible.
This collapse of information barriers robs children of gradual maturation.
Take shame, crucial for human civilization. Shame controls primal impulses like violence and lust, civilization's foundation. Where does shame originate? Secrets create shame, Postman theorized. If nudity became mandatory at beaches, body shame would vanish. While unrealistic, TV constantly erodes shame through explicit content.
Children exposed to this lose understanding of shame's purpose.
Now, let's examine the other side of childhood's disappearance. Adults becoming childlike, chronologically mature but emotionally stunted, similar to internet terms like grown infants or mama's boys. What defines true adulthood? First, self-control and patience for delayed gratification. Second, capacity for abstract and logical thinking. Third, vision to engage with history and future qualities children inherently lack. Television adults share traits: avoiding work, parenting, politics, traditions, behaving like 8-year-olds, role-playing adulthood. Variety shows. They're clumsy imitations of classrooms. Hosts act as teachers, guests as children, smiling through endless humiliating games, rewarded for obedience, punished for mistakes. Doesn't this mirror today's web variety shows and trendy dramas? The parallels are uncanny. Though adults dominate TV, Postman argues television isn't designed for mature minds. TV's language is sensationalized fragments, messages disconnected from context or logic.
TV traffics in ephemeral no history. No future, just transient moments.
Dads bypass, reason they weaponize emotions and visual stimuli.
This infantilizes adults, prioritizing instant gratification while ignoring consequences.
True, adulthood differs. A child demands fries, NOW, oblivious to health impacts. Making them wait a week? Impossible. Adults resist. Instant urges, choosing, jogging over laziness, persisting through 3 months to discover its joy. Now, adults crave likes instantly after posting, mirroring children's need for immediate satisfaction. Observe June, the first adults jokingly celebrate Children's Day online. Not genuine celebration, but revealing symbolism. This joke reflects adult infantilization, a cultural symptom of our era. Without internet culture, would adults play at being children? The boundary has dissolved completely. Thus, Postman declared, life now has only 3 stages: infancy, adulthood merged with childhood, and old age. We've seen how television erodes child-adult boundaries, causing childhood's disappearance. Now, our second question: was television the sole cause? Postman argues childhood's disappearance began long ago with Samuel Morse, telegraph inventor, as prime culprit. Morse's cultural impact surpasses Darwin's. You can survive without evolution theory, but telegraph changed everyone. Television represents the pinnacle of telegraph's legacy. What made telegraph revolutionary? It severed the link between transportation and communication for the first time in history. Previously, information moved at human transportation speeds like China's ancient courier stations. Information transmission was limited by physical travel horses, runners, etc. Telegraph obliterated these spatial temporal constraints completely. Information became globally tradable commodities with tights birthing mass journalism.
This unleashed, uncontrolled information floods fragmented news everywhere.
Thus began our information explosion era. Postman's Amusing Ourselves to Death introduces crucial concept: information-action ratio. Electronic media drastically altered this ratio: received information v. actionable information. Information's primary purpose should be prompting action like, bring umbrella tomorrow during rain. Naturally, we always receive more information than we can act upon. But pre-electronic age maintained rough balance between these.
Electronic media, especially TV, destroyed this balance, flooding us with irrelevant data.
We live in what Lippmann called the pseudo-environment, or Plato's allegorical cave-seeing, only shadows on the wall, daily. What you perceive as reality are actually irrelevant shadows. Consider what consumes your attention. Daily celebrity gossip, like Luhan's relationships or Trump's tweet. Does any truly concern you? No relevance at all. Would you act on these? Neverio will likely never interact with these celebrities. They're fictional characters to you, hence the term spectators, passive consumers of digital drama. Spectator culture is the offspring of information explosion. Children's information access was once controlled by families. School Telegrafera media shattered this control. Adults and children alike become spectator sex, explaining why children adultify as discussed earlier. Telegraph alone couldn't have caused such childhood erosion. Telegraph's true lethality. It opened the electronic media, Pandora's box. Cameras, phones, gramophones, movies, radio, TV followed in succession. Later electronic media, including today's internet, will inherit telegraph's legacy. Telegraph tradition climaxed with TV through merging electronic and image revolutions.
The print era's rational world was replaced by flickering, surreal imagery.
In this world, entertainment reigns supreme. All content becomes entertainment. New York priests wearing Yankees caps during consecration ceremonies, making faces. Arizona doctors televising heart surgeries like reality shows. Audiences watch rape trials as midday soap operas. Even education became. Postman outlined TV education's 3 commandments. 1. No prerequisites. Viewers need 0 prior knowledge. 2. No confusion. Present everything simplistically. 3. Avoid explanations like Plagus stories, images, music instead. Postman stated, education without prerequisites, challenges, or explanations can only be called entertainment.
This explains why adults regress to childlike states in TV's world.
Spectator culture itself is entertainment. Information explosion and entertainment-driven demise are 2 sides of the same coin.
Regarding childhood, humanity has become electronic media's captive.
Now let's explore Postman's views on media technology's profound impacts. First, understanding Postman's concept of childhood's invention. Childhood isn't an eternal human concept. French scholar Philippe Arles revealed in Centuries of Childhood, traditional societies had brief childhood ending when physical independence allowed immediate entry into adult work life. Adults and children communicated on same wavelength. Printing press changed this dynamic, mirroring telegraph's later impact. Why did printing affect childhood perceptions? It created new symbolic worlds, establishing knowledge gaps that required literacy, rational thinking, and bodily discipline to navigate. Minors needed education to bridge this gap and become cultured. Cultural initiation meant mastering secret knowledge and managing primal impulses. Postman saw media technologies as biased orators, never neutral, always advocating particular worldviews. Earlier scholars like Innes and McLuhan recognized this media bias too. Innes argued, every communication technology shapes our concerns, thinking patterns, and societal power structures. Entertainment reigns supreme. That's television's doctrine. Printing had its own. First, it created individualized reading, retreating into personal mental spaces. Second, it emphasized abstract logical thinking. Third, printing required self-discipline. These doctrines transformed societal cognitive patterns. Modern childhood emerged and modern adulthood too. Thus, Postman completes the cycle, childhood's creation and destruction through technological logic. Now let's summarize and extend the discussion. First, the book's core thesis. Is the disappearance of childhood really about childhood? The title suggests yes. Tracking childhood's evolution from Renaissance creation to Tuvira dissolution. But fundamentally, it critiques late 20th century American media culture, TV's cultural shaping. Childhood serves as the analytical lens, not the ultimate subject. Second, contemporary relevance. First published in 1982, revised in 1994, TV's golden age mirroring aspects of China's current media landscape.
Televigenera is sachem erosion, entertainment, dominance, anti-intellectualism, not only persist in mobile internet era, but intensify.
Yet internet brings new possibilities while eroding childhood. 3. Key internet TV differences. 1. Active vs. passive consumption. 2. Infinite capacity. 3. Democratized content creation. Thus, the internet embodies boundless inclusivity. From consumption perspective, mobile internet indeed progresses along Postman's predicted trajectory. While we still amuse ourselves to death, those with focus and critical thinking gain enhanced capabilities through abundant online resources. Production-wise, internet programming offers unprecedented freedom. Hour-long serious content thrives online, despite being unthinkable on TV. Finally, Postman's concluding question. Are individuals truly powerless against current trends? He optimistically affirms our agency. Postman's prescriptions. 1. Parents cultivate children's delayed gratification tolerance. 2. Monitor media exposure and provide value guidance. This parental effort preserves childhood for future intellectuals and sustains civilizational continuity. Referring specifically to television. Extending this, are we helpless in mobile internet era? We should share Postman's optimism. Individual agency matters, especially with internet's latent possibilities. Beyond resisting childhood's disappearance, let's create richer content transcending Postman's cherished print culture. That concludes today's interpretation. Find keynotes below the audio. See you tomorrow.